Kyrie Irving is prepared to sit out the rest of the season if need be. That's what I'm being told. I don't know whether I believe that, but that's what people are saying.
I'm sorry, guys. I had to pause the frame right there just because of the pure disbelief that I'm in. Guys, I'm telling you right now that this trade deadline is going to get ugly. You're going to want to be subscribed and you're going to want to have those notifications on. Now that we've got that out of the way, we have to talk about this absolute mess of a debacle that the Brooklyn Nets have found themselves in the middle of. Honestly, at this point, if I'm a Brooklyn Nets fan, I am more than tired of being thrown all over the place by this emotional roller coaster. If I'm a Nets fan, all I would want is some peace of mind and consistency. The absolute last thing that I want is more noise, considering everything that this team has been through over the past few years alone. Guys, we've seen James Harden, Kevin Durant, and even Kyrie Irving ask out. And well, we'll have to talk about all of that and what's next for this Brooklyn Nets team. But first, today's content is brought to you by PrizePicks. Personally, PrizePicks is my favorite way to watch games. I just make my picks and then cheer for the guys I picked as I watch the game. PrizePicks is like daily fantasy, except with PrizePicks, you're not competing against anybody else, just the projections that are available. And right now, they're making beating those projections as easy as ever with this limited time Super Bowl free square. If Patrick Mahomes throws for literally 1 yard, then this projection hits. Yeah, guys, this is my favorite promo for a reason. If you guys want to play PrizePicks with me, just click the link in the description below to download the app today, and make sure that when you do that, you use promo code COOP so that when you sign up, you get that deposit instantly doubled. The Brooklyn Nets started this season looking like a team that was on the verge of falling apart, going 1-5. Instead of falling apart, what they did was spectacular, at least to me. Instead of falling apart, the Brooklyn Nets would start winning after Brooklyn Nets star forward Kevin Durant would get his wish. As of November 1st, Steve Nash would no longer be the coach of the Brooklyn Nets. Since Nash's firing, the Nets have looked like a new team when Kevin Durant has been healthy. Jacques Vaughn has done a great job of holding his players accountable. We've seen some great things from Brooklyn this season, like Nick Claxton evolving into a legitimate force that flat out looks like a DPOY candidate averaging over 2.5 blocks. We've seen Kevin Durant playing some of the best basketball that he's ever played, averaging 29.7 points, 6.7 rebounds, and 5.3 assists, while shooting 56% from the field. We've seen Kyrie Irving seemingly steady the ship, playing a brand of basketball that we've grown to love over the years. And most importantly, we've seen this team start to look like a contender when their stars are healthy. Well, unfortunately, all of this wouldn't be able to stop the news that would hit us, and apparently his own team like a prime Mike Tyson knockout punch. February 3rd, Woj would report that Kyrie Irving would be demanding a trade ahead of the trade deadline. Kyrie wants to continue to play basketball. He just doesn't want it to be in Brooklyn anymore. What's comedy about this whole thing is that while it was Kyrie that asked for the trade, according to Woj, other teams were kind of like, well, what's going on with that whole Kevin Durant guy? Is he available? Reportedly, there would be a lot of interest in seeing how Kevin Durant would take this news. To take things back to Kyrie, who actually demanded the trade, by the way, while there were some talks on a new deal for Kyrie, no agreement would be reached. Apparently, Kyrie is seeking a contract that's in the ballpark of around 4 years, $200 million. That's a lot of money, right? Well, it's especially a lot of money for somebody that has had as many issues as Kyrie Irving. Mind you, that this is coming from somebody that enjoys the way Kyrie plays basketball and is a fan of his game in general. Strictly talking basketball, I love what Kyrie brings to the floor. When it comes to the Nets, I don't think that there are going to be too many people who blame them for at least being a little skeptical of offering Kai this massive contract. According to Chris Haynes, basically everything was cool until the Nets offered a contract that was tied to the Brooklyn Nets winning a freaking championship. Chris Haynes has now been told that the issue isn't about money at all anymore, and that now Kyrie wouldn't even stay if he was offered a full max contract. Imagine going into modern NBA negotiations being a star player, and the GM tells you that unless you win us a championship, you're not going to see the full dollar value of your contract. Now, to be fair, I don't really blame the Nets. I'm acting like I do, but I don't really blame them. Where's that mess around and find out meme? That's basically what happened here. The Brooklyn Nets thought that they had all of the leverage that they needed, and well, they messed around and found out that they didn't really have the leverage that they thought they had. If you ask me, all of this goes back to Kyrie feeling disrespected by the Nets organization. I mean, come on, this guy literally tweeted this out not long before his trade request went public. To my peers, just be yourself and grow. Keep people around you who celebrate you unconditionally and appreciate all of the hard work that gets put in. Distance yourself from folks who manipulate, hate, and hurt. That would seem pretty straightforward and to the point, right? Well, hours after tweeting this, Kyrie would also tweet a GIF that had the caption, "Don't let them fool you." Yeah, guys, I'm a bit confused too, but that's life when it comes to the mysterious yet talented Kyrie Irving. What really surprised me in all of this wasn't the fact that Kyrie might want out. He's wanted out in Cleveland, Boston, and now Brooklyn. Him wanting out in Brooklyn isn't surprising. What is surprising is that Kyrie's teammates were caught off guard by this trade demand. Now, if you let Woj tell it, trade demand or not, the Nets still want to play and win with Kyrie Irving if it comes down to that. Yeah, guys, this is something that I didn't buy when he said it, and I especially don't buy now that he's saying that the Nets are determined to find a deal for Kyrie Irving. Anyways, let's say that Kyrie really does want out. Apparently, there haven't been as many clear-cut sellers as advertised heading into this trade deadline, which would mean that a market is likely forming for Kyrie, and he's now that much more valuable. Woj would report that the Lakers, Mavericks, and Suns all have interest in trading for Kyrie. Now, while these teams all have interest in trading for Kyrie, they're all also reluctant to do so because Kyrie is seeking this massive long-term contract. Let's talk about the Lakers' interests first and start with some potentially noteworthy things. Now, honestly, I'm not sure how noteworthy this one is, but here we have AD and Kyrie Irving discussing who knows what after the Lakers and Nets game. Here we have Deadline Bron tweeting the eye emoji and the crown after all of the news dropped. This tweet actually got 200,000 likes. You know what though? Forget the likes, because a Lakers assistant coach would reply to it, and I'm going to say that Westbrook's brother would not like that. Anyways, guys, if you couldn't tell, there are a lot of people who really want Kyrie to be a Laker, and Kyrie is on that list, at least according to Woj. Here's a reminder that Kyrie opted into his player option this past offseason, and this offseason, he's going to be a free agent. What that means is that he may have some say in potentially choosing his next destination. When it comes to Kyrie potentially being a Laker, there's no doubt in my mind that this guy wants to play in LA. He probably didn't leave a heart on Tristan Thompson's text about a Cavs reunion because he hates the idea of it happening. Though the Lakers have been content in the past holding on to their picks, with the team stringing together some wins and looking competitive, things have started to change with rumors starting to surface that this team believes that they are one move away from being legitimate title contenders. Perhaps the Lakers believing that they can be really good this season is why we're starting to see reports like this one surface that state that they are willing to trade Russell Westbrook and 2 first-round picks to acquire Kyrie, but not Austin Reeves or Max Christie. Personally, I don't think my heart could take the irony of Westbrook being traded for Kyrie after they shared this moment pre-game.
I knew greatness would be out here early. Some people show up right on time, some people show up. Does it go unnoticed? Some people appreciate it.
Now, while there are reports out there that the Nets have no interest in trading for Russell Westbrook, there's always that possibility that it's just a tactical leak. Even if that report is true, just because you're not interested in Russell Westbrook doesn't mean that you wouldn't be interested in a beefed up offer. But then again, maybe after everything that they've been through, the Nets really do want to be good moving forward. Either way, the Lakers need to be careful with their Kyrie Love affair. There's no need to disrupt a situation that's already incredibly fragile. Moving on to the Mavericks' interest, this team is in a really weird spot, and I'm not exactly sure what the move is for them going forward. With that being said, apparently the Mavericks might think that the move is getting Kyrie Irving. According to Mark Stein, all indications are that the Mavericks have confidence in Kidd's coaching ability to connect with Irving and Luka's adaptability to play alongside another ball-dominant guard for the rest of the season. But yet, there's no evidence to suggest that Dallas is prepared to enter into a long-term relationship with Kyrie Irving. I know I can't be the only one who is kind of feeling like a Kyrie Irving trade might simply come down to whoever wants to commit the most money to him long term. Mark Stein would also say that it is believed that the Brooklyn Nets would covet Spencer Dinwiddie and Dorian Finney-Smith in a prospective trade with the Mavericks for Kyrie Irving. This probably isn't a bad time to bring up that a few days ago Shams reported that the Dallas Mavericks would be open to moving Dorian Finney-Smith in a deal for a star player. When I saw this headline, I thought it was wild, but here we are. When it comes to the Dallas Mavericks, they know that the Luka clock is ticking and that he needs help bad. The big question is, how are they going to get it? Kyrie Irving becoming available gives them the golden opportunity to take the risk of a lifetime. The kind of risk that you don't really bounce back from if it fails. But that's not important. What is important is that the Mavericks have a chance to make hoopers happy everywhere with a potential pairing of Luka Doncic and Kyrie Irving. I know that I've got some jokes off this video, but let's be real. Seeing these two coming up on your schedule would legitimately be terrifying for perimeter defenders. Guys, in the comments below, let me know if you feel like the Dallas Mavericks should make a move for Kyrie Irving. Moving on to the Suns, everything that I've seen over the past few days points to the Suns looking towards life after Chris Paul. I don't think it's really surprising that this team has been interested in like almost every point guard that's become available. While that is hyperbole, the Suns are viewed as one of the few teams capable of facilitating a deal for Kyrie that could keep the Nets in title contention. Guys, I agree with this report. While I'm not entirely sure what the compensation from the Suns side would look like, I can safely say that this team can make a very competitive offer for just about any player that they want who is available. Which, speaking of competitive offers, if the Nets want to remain competitive going forward like we talked about earlier, they can't afford to get fleeced in a Kyrie Irving trade like they did with James Harden. Unfortunately, Ben Simmons has not only not looked like an impact player, but he's also looked like somebody that you might be reluctant to play at some point. As good as KD is, he's going to need help if Kyrie's traded. There's no hiding the fact that the man is turning 35 this year. He's not getting any younger. In the comments below, let me know what team you guys would like to see trade for Kyrie. Guys, as a fan of Kyrie's game, I wouldn't want to make a move for him because there's simply too many risks. Can you even count on his health at this point? If you could get him on a short-term contract, that would be boss. If we're talking long-term, maybe I'm pulling the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know. Yeah, guys, there's a solid chance that I sidestep a Kyrie trade like prime Manu Ginobili, unless I'm LA. That's just me. Let me know what you guys think. Clicking the video on the screen right now is a great way to support my channel. I'm GetLikeCoop, bringing you guys the scoop until our next upload.